Góðan og blessaðan daginn. Today, I'm so happy to welcome in our greenhouse multidisciplinary artist Leeni.
Thank you. Hello. Good to be part of the family.
How are you, Leeni?
Good. The sun is out. I'm happy.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Just to describe a little bit where we are at, we are in a greenhouse in the Nordic house in Reykjavik, very close to an airport in the heart of the city. It's a beautiful day, as you can see, and we are so interested to get to know your world, your universe. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I am Leeni, and sometimes I'm a Possimiste who writes music and brings those worlds that she sees in her head to people, or as best as she can. Possimiste is a spirit from Sirius. From
What is
the
Sirius?
Star system from far away that we
Okay.
know really little about, and I know also really little about, but I'm learning. I'm learning to know, and I guess in this place, they're like I feel that part of my soul is stuck there, and sometimes the soul is entering this body here.
So Possimiste is sort of like another persona of you. Is this a galactic system that you are describing? Did you create it, or is it an actual star system?
It is
there?
actual star system.
It is an actual star
Yes.
system.
But
Okay.
this is what sometimes I get those glimpses in my dreams. And when I was a kid, I used to wonder. I spent a lot of time, like just at night, just looking at the sky and thinking that maybe there's somebody up there who can understand me better. Those moments when I felt that I really didn't belong, and then I created this. Not created, but I felt that that's what it is, and that's in Sirius. There must be my friends. But maybe just part of me is still stuck there. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's the mystery that's driving the whole. I think like the music, why I'm creating it also, that I get those glimpses that bring me closer and closer to that, and I'm like solving mysteries and getting to know why this like vision comes to me.
That is very, very interesting. How old were you when you started having these visions and these connections to your other persona?
Maybe like 4 or 5.
4
yeah.
years
Yeah.
old. Could you tell us more about your childhood, for example?
So I was, I think, 2 years old when I told my parents that I want to sing.
Uh-huh.
And I sing on my birthday the song like, the youth is a beautiful thing.
Okay.
Indeed. And then somehow like I was always singing and dancing at home and speaking with my imaginary friends, and that became my language. So and it felt like so natural to me, even though I didn't understand like what it was and where those, where this fantasy world comes from, or where this music come from. I had no idea, but I spent a lot of time in this, like having those conversations and having this space around me, this fantasy space around me.
How did your parents react to this vivid imagination?
I think I'm surprised that they didn't think that there's something wrong with me. Or like they were just happy, if you see your kid dancing around and singing, and
Did they nurture it? Sorry.
Yeah, when I told them that I want to sing, then they just put me to the singing school, and yeah, so I started as a 2-year-old.
Singing was your first instrument then?
Yeah.
Do you play any other instruments?
I play a bit of everything.
A bit of everything.
I use often piano to help me to compose, and also piano to produce music, because piano can be all instruments nowadays, right? It can be drums, it can be guitar.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why sometimes, because I write everything on the piano or on the keyboard, and sometimes when I work with real musicians to bring the music to live settings, then something that I think it's really simple is actually unplayable on their instrument because it's different. So
yeah, so you are describing different things that you do. You are a songwriter.
Yeah.
You are a producer. We know that you are a designer as well.
But design is so wide. I feel like design is something that's, creating experiences or experience design.
So you studied design?
No,
Okay.
I just got into it. Yeah, I started working with architecture because music is actually really connected to that, and I feel like that artists and musicians should be more working in those fields, because actually the empathy that we feel towards the people that are gonna be using the space, we can somehow, I feel like a lot of musicians can empathize on or foresee how people would feel, but they can like feel things before and imagine that space that's not even created, that how it is to go there and participate in this. And I'm really grateful that I have had this opportunity to grow in that.
How has all of this influenced your creation, your music?
I always knew that I want to create worlds, and definitely in having the knowledge of, you know, how design works, also the process of who all are involved in this. It has helped me to be more open for collaboration and spot different talents of people. So now I can just, you know, let's say draw a stage design, and I don't have to do everything on my own or try to do it. I know the whole process, like from A to B, and I try to, of course, make it as simple as possible for people I work with. So, and I think it's really important to make the process enjoyable.
Definitely. How important is it for you as an artist collaborating?
You know, actually, it has always been a really difficult thing for me to collaborate.
Okay.
Because when I get this song idea, I normally get them like either when I'm sleeping or when I'm walking totally kind of lost somewhere, you know, or like I'm not really, that's what I said about this, like being, you know, having the feeling that you are possessed almost, that you're not really like present in this world. And I feel that when those ideas come, then I want to keep them as pure as possible, because I just sometimes just hear the whole thing, like the music, the lyrics, the production even comes at the same time. Because I want to keep it so pure, it's really difficult to actually say that, look, this is the idea, like, okay, let's jam or let's work together. And that has been my, let's say, my challenge in this, because I've ended up like doing many things on my own. But now I'm learning this also thanks to, you know, being part of Hafner House, and like definitely music is my strength, you know, like building things and like all this nitty gritty tech stuff, it's not my strength. I can understand it, but and I can make sure that it's enjoyable for people, you know. But when it comes to details, I really now like trust people who are like, that's their passion, that's what they're good at, that's their talent. I think it's just great. I'm learning this still, but I think I've learned quite a bit already to collaborate and collaborating with other songwriters. It's totally different kind of process, but it's something just, it's more human, I feel.
I think that's a really good point that you are mentioning there, that how we all have different strengths and we can come together and complement on one great idea and just really making it better. Yeah. But if you could walk us through your process, so you are walking or you are sleeping and then bang, you connect to somewhere, someone, to Possimiste.
Yeah.
And
she comes like, whoo.
She comes here, lands in your head, inside your head.
Or heart.
Or heart.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. And then what? So you have this idea, then you run home, play it, record it. What do you do?
Normally I have this rule for myself, because I know a lot of songwriters, they always make sure that their phone is charged, that they can record every idea, right? But for me, I have this rule that I let it come, and then if I don't rush home or anything like that, because I feel that if the idea is still there, in the end of the day when I come home, then I record it, and that's worth keeping it.
Has it ever happened that you have a great idea and then you just got distracted and lose it?
You know, sometimes I have heard music, like the whole thing in my dream. And I wake up and it's like I just even can't like start from anywhere because it's too much.
It's too much.
And then it's lost.
So it can become overwhelming.
I think it's just I learned to let things go. You just, it's really weird thing to think that at this moment when those ideas come to you, you need to kind of choose like which one to let live and nourish and which one to kind of let it not, I don't think like not die, but have you read the book Big Magic, for example?
No.
It's a great book. Basically, it's, if I remember correctly, then it's a book based on real life, and it's about a writer who had this idea and she was working on a book, but then she had, life things came and she couldn't focus on it. And then she discovers that there's another woman who is writing the book exactly about the same thing, as if the idea had popped into the other writer's hands and head. And it was something really specific. It's just really specific. So I believe that if I cannot write that song, then it will go somewhere. I mean, ideas want to come true.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that inventions, I feel that they just, somehow we don't know where they come from, but they come from somewhere and they have a purpose. I guess they have this agenda.
Do you believe that then ideas go to a world of ideas or to the realm of ideas and can be recycled, and perhaps somebody else will tune in to this world? And
I believe that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah, I have seen you performing, and I must say that it's a wonderful act. It's so joyful. It's so full of energy, and it really is a whole world that you are conveying when you are on stage. So it's not only that you come and perform. So you have created all this world.
I feel that it's really important for the artist to create the space that they feel comfortable at, and they have to enjoy it, I feel. And I feel that with this whole world, because I just see if the music is coming from that space, right, from outer space, then I want this outer space to come closer to the earth, and then that's how I can take everybody in the audience on a trip to where the source is, or what I believe it is. And the same things with outfits. I feel like that's just what I like, And of course, try to use more like recycled things, or almost everything is
So you make your own outfits?
Yeah, pretty much. Or like I assemble them. I get them from different like thrift stores and assemble them and just sometimes use like shirts as skirts as
Yeah. So you recycle materials and clothes and
and then I also work with Almar Freyr, who is the VJ. So we come together, we sit down, and we create the visuals.
Do you have like a concept behind the visuals that you share with him, and then?
Yeah, exactly. It's with some people, and I feel that why maybe the collaborate, it depends so much like who you collaborate with. If there are people like I get it, yes, I think the same way, and I see what you mean. It's really much easier, because it's difficult to make like creative compromises when it's like your baby.
Yeah,
you want to you want to make it's pretty impossible, I feel, if somebody would tell me that look like this visual cannot be too spacey. It's too spacey. People would not get it. It doesn't sell.
Yeah.
I can't work like that.
No, I can't imagine that. So how do you deal with that when collaboration starts being tricky? What strategies have you found?
I think probably I'm choosing just people really wisely to collaborate with, or like I don't go like straight in. I kind of not spy, but I follow their work, and I also see or feel their vibe, and like before I ask for a collaboration, I'm just really like kind of familiar already with their work.
What drives you in life?
Passion. Yeah, passion and like curiosity to know. Like, I guess it's just the question of what is this? Why am I here? What is this? What is this reality?
Have you found answers to that?
No.
That's a very big question right there.
Yeah, but I think you have to. have big questions. At least for me, I like the mystery. I like things that you can't really solve, but you can like little by little, dig deeper.
That keeps us going.
Yeah.
And what are the things that you believe in?
I believe in the voice, the gut feeling, the voice of the heart. That somehow, that's, I think, when I moved to Iceland, I decided to do that test that I just can buy a ticket and see. It just felt the right thing to do. It just came also as a vision or something like that. I don't know.
I can't relate to that.
Crazy thing to do as a 19-year-old. Just like go and land and you're like, okay, yay.
So you moved to Iceland when you were 19 years old.
Yeah.
How was it for you to move to Iceland? Had you lived in a different country before moving to Iceland?
No.
So this was your first big moving.
Yeah, I think it was even the first time I took flight alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why Iceland?
I just had this, visions and pictures in my head that
Had you been here
felt
before?
like, no.
You'd never been here
No.
before.
I just saw mountains, and there was one scene about like me on a lake and northern lights, like frozen lake, and it just felt like it's a glimpse of a future.
What were you doing before moving to Iceland?
I was, just graduated school. I did singing my whole life. I was part of a vocal group that performed in a big part like Estonian folk songs that were mixed with pop elements, which
Fantastic.
is really cool. And we also did some like theater and musicals and all kinds of stuff. And I had already started releasing my own music, but back then it was a secret. It was top secret. The first concert I played ever, it was in Slovakia.
Yeah.
And like I lied to my parents about it. I took my best friend with me. I didn't know even what we said, but we went there to just perform.
So they didn't know that you were going to Slovakia?
No.
And much less to perform?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
okay.
They didn't know anything about Possimiste. I don't know even like why it was such a secret, but I felt I just wanted to be free of any expectations, because the moment you say that, I'm making music, I'm, becoming an independent musician, people start having expectations, and I really could not handle it because I just wanted to
be free
and just explore. And the first, I think, 10 years or even 12 years of Possimiste, like I've gone through so many genres. My first definition was known for as bell folk.
Bell folk?
Bell folk, because I use a lot of bells.
How was it for you to move to Iceland? You came to Iceland. What did you find?
I feel that, there are so many different people everywhere. I found that people were pretty similar to Estonians. I guess it's that it's not really easy to make friends, but when you make a friend, you make a good friend. And I had a friend here before, like we met on SoundCloud before I arrived there, just the same day we arrived, and she wrote to me like, hey, I'm from Canada and I'm also here, let's meet up, I'm also a musician. And to have this one friend who can understand you and who is also in this journey and new in this country, it just changed everything.
Definitely.
You just
it's
sometimes
so important.
need that one person.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, I don't need much.
Yeah. How did this translate into institutions? Did you find open doors in Icelandic cultural and art institutions?
No, maybe I didn't look for it. I feel that I'm a really curious person, and I felt also that how can you, because at school I was an extremely good student. I was like, I had to have 100% in everything, and I did, and it was pretty heavy for the head, and it just felt heavy, and then I was like, okay, is there also another way how to become what you want to be? Because back then there was not even such a degree or anything like that combines music, visual arts, design. And I felt that to make this commitment to be a really good student at school in a subject that doesn't exist, it just felt that I have to just explore and I have to just keep making music and trust that life will bring me together with the people and will give me the knowledge. And actually it has happened.
Yeah.
I've had learned through mentorships for years and now I feel like I know something.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing this for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And talking about learning and working with other people and exploring, you have been part of Key Change. You were part of Key Change 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what is Key Change?
So it's a program for that. The whole goal of Key Change is to create equal and diverse music industry, which means that, like for years it has been mainly the majority, it has been ruled or taken over by men.
Yeah, male dominated.
Yeah, especially when you look at the heads of the record labels, the people who actually take decisions. Producers, and now we have so many different genders, so many different pronouns. Not even, the society is changing and people are discovering themselves more. And it was basically, the program has been running for years and now it's expanding from Europe to Canada and US.
For 4 years, you said?
For some years, more than 4 years actually. And part of this is that every year they select, I think, around 30 artists and 30 music industry professionals from each European country. And they have this year they have private mentorship, then they have collaborations with festivals that you have performance opportunities, and then 3 times a year you come together and meet and you have a lot of workshops and networking opportunities and so on. And it's also a lot of focus was on mental health as well. I didn't realize even before I went there how important it actually is that you are...
Mental health.
Yes, that you are, that you don't burn out and you can just sustain yourself, and it definitely also opened my eyes and helped to find this strength. And we also worked to help to create new laws regarding music and culture in the European Union, for example, that they would, we would gather our ideas and then it will be submitted to the European Commission, as I understand.
Has something come out of that?
Yeah, I think there's something coming out. I think it hasn't happened yet, but I think it's on the verge.
Yeah, these things take so long, law initiatives and whatnot, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I think now, even if you look at other industries, it's kind of like the 50-50 gender balance. It's a good thing to achieve,
Can anybody apply to Key Change?
If you feel that you're of underrepresented gender, then yes. And you decide if you are underrepresented gender. Mostly female and dissident identities.
Okay. Fantastic.
But also, men who define themselves as this, I guess they could also.
Of course.
And also one of the people that was part of the, running it was also a man. And the other important thing of this movement is that we also give badges to organizations who are fighting for this. In our music recording studio we have 50-50, and I think it just creates safe space and better music, first of all, because if I go to the studio and if there's a person that I don't know, I feel as a woman I feel more open and comfortable to, if you have just 2 hours, that I feel like I'm more likely to open up and create my best work when I don't have to think about anything else,
So would you say that Key Change has given you tools?
Definitely.
To navigate the music industry?
Definitely.
And make your voice heard?
Definitely, yeah. I think it has given me a lot of connections and also the feeling that actually it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter where you are in your career and you can make things happen. And I think that was something that I realized that, big artists struggle with something, smaller artists struggle with something. We all have difficulties and people are more willing to help and collaborate also, like we say, or give advice than I thought. I thought that, you know, like, oh, I cannot, you know, ask advice from that people because they are so, you know, experienced or so high up, or, you know.
Yes.
But now I feel like there's nothing like that, you know. It's just
Yeah, there is no shame in reaching out. We
no,
should just...
absolutely. And, you know, I just felt that I'm so happy to help, you know,
Yeah.
anybody. And
Yeah.
and it just, yeah.
What would you like to say to encourage people, to empower them, to encourage them to take space and to believe that things can happen?
I feel it's important to create the art that you feel that it's coming from your soul. And I feel it's also important to not to define the success in your head by the number of people who listen to you. I think nowadays there are so many musicians and so many artists, and, you know, only maybe 1 in 10,000 or something, you know, gets, let's say, what we call big, you know. But it's also like, do you want to become big, or do you want to make a difference? Because, you know, once you create music and recorded music, it will be there forever. And you never, I think it's a beautiful thought to think that if you create something meaningful, then people who need it will find it. That takes a lot of pressure away, and I think that helps people to create better art.
How have you dealt with creating your audience?
Wow. I think it's mostly like community building.
Okay.
I like to connect people who connect to me, because they would also connect to each other. There's a lot of artists, like other artists, following my work, and which is cool. And then I can share, you know, their art, and then they discover they discover how beautiful community it is around. Because I feel like half of the music that I create, even in settings, you know, you listen to it, and you feel your feelings, and you are like giving 50% of this experience. And so it's like, I want to create a community of creators.
What is the current, what is the current band of Possimiste?
How is it? So I have my boyfriend Seb, who is also a really talented musician, on bass and on different instruments, like also normal electric guitar, but, you know, played on bow and backing vocals. And then I have Gunni, who recently is joining because he just loves it, and we love him, so it just gives such a good spirit to us.
Gunni is playing ukulele.
Ukulele and also singing. Yeah.
Great.
And
Great.
he's helping out with a lot of technical things, as well as Daniel Ödensson, who is helping with modular synthesizers, for example. And
Awesome.
And in the new album, there's like a lot of really meaningful collaboration with people that I really know that they are my people.
You
And
have
it
a
just
cello
feels
player
so
as well.
And Ola, of course, yeah, and Ola, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
she's magical, and her music is just so beautiful. And that's also how we met, because I was like, hi, you're Ola, I love your music. And she's like, oh, you're Leeni, I love your music. So yeah, it just...
That is the best, just colleagues, just friends supporting each other.
That's just such a dream.
Unfortunately, we have a certain amount of time. Thank you so much, Leeni, for
Thank you
this
so
wonderful
much.
time with you. It's great talking to you. We will keep following very closely your music, and now you are gonna perform
I'm
a
gonna
couple
sing, yeah.
a couple of songs for us.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leeni, Possimiste.
Human souls were born inside the darkest places, out of matter, right between the stars. For some time we hide behind When two souls to merge, you know how strong these forces unarmed, enslaved, we fall and say, last remaining guardians of life. You ain't born to kill, you ain't born to destroy, and it's you who got choice to wake up. Be sane and make a change. Our fight like an emperor of stardust and fade away, away, I don't belong to anywhere else but in love. I know that it is time to fight for liberty. I know that it is time for making the cruel pay. But every time I try, my strength has gone away. I run and hide away, and I'm letting them come to stay. 'Cause when the monster's getting wild,